Hey guys, fourth and final installment of the BCS games. We're going to hit the completely underwhelming game of UCONN versus Oklahoma. Nobody's actually even got this game circled. When they made the bowls, they were like, okay, we want to watch this, we want to watch this. There's actually more intriguing bowls than the ones that we actually talked about pre-BCS.
Absolutely.
But we have to hit it just because, and this is the Fiesta Bowl, featuring UConn, the 8-4 UConn Huskies versus the 11-2 number 7 Oklahoma Sooners. First things first, let me just bring this up because it does kind of apply to this. Mark Cuban this week has actually come out and said that he's willing to pay $500 million of his own money, $500 million of his own money to fund a college football Division I playoff system.
Do you know when you yourself knows how you have too much money? When you want to give that much money to have a college football playoff. That's ridiculous.
But still, at the same time, why not? If he's got that much money and he wants to invest in it, it's like if you said that you want to buy an Ohio State hat, and it's like $40, and you're like, well, it's $40, but he wants it to. He wants it that bad.
I would love for him to do that. I would love for him to make a college football playoff because we wouldn't have these stupid matchups like this. You know what? To be completely honest with you, I think this is more of a trap game for Oklahoma than the Wisconsin TCU.
What?
What? As an Oklahoma player going and playing UConn, what are you thinking? What is your mindset?
What is your mindset? Your mindset is the last couple times Oklahoma's played in BCS game, they've gotten their tails handed to them by underperforming teams, which, understood, I see where you're getting to, but at the same time, you want to come out and take care of business, so you're not that team. It's like the Ohio State mentality. You're 0-9 against SEC teams. You want to come out and break that trend.
That's what you think. Let's go back to Alabama 2 years ago. Alabama and Florida go into the SEC championship. They're two of the hottest teams in the nation. They're two of the best teams. In my opinion, they were the two most talented teams in the nation 2 years ago. Florida beats Alabama. Florida goes on to play the national championship. Alabama goes to... They went to an at-large ball. I don't remember. They played Utah. They go in. Alabama is far superior to Utah. Much better team. They get blown out of the water by Utah. It's a trap game. Oklahoma goes into this thinking, really? What is Oklahoma going to gain by beating UConn? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're going to say, congratulations, you beat UConn from the Big East.
Whatever millions of dollars that the school actually gets paid, though. That's what they gain.
Well, they get paid that before the game.
If you haven't figured it out, Bryce and I both have Oklahoma. We think it's ridiculous. The spread right now is 17. I can actually see Oklahoma putting up 17 plus.
I don't think they're going to do a 17-point spread, just for the sheer fact that I think this is a trap game. Oklahoma's going to win. There's no way UConn's going to win. UConn is ranked 100th, I believe, in the nation in total offense. That's horrible. How did you make it to the BCS? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier their quarterback only has 5 passing touchdowns.
Yeah,
they're
they're 116th in the nation in passing yards. This is just atrocious. What are they doing in the BCS? They have no business here whatsoever.
Moving on, we're going to hit the BCS national title game, and this has just been one of those years where you see two teams from opposite ends of the nation just light things up, and you're wondering to yourself, okay, what happens if it's like two trains going 100 miles an hour on the same track heading towards each other? What's going to happen?
An explosion of offense is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for like a 63-65 game, which is not out of the question whatsoever. Cam Newton has just looked absolutely amazing all year. I mean, he's really making you think and look back and say, Tebow who? Tebow what? Yeah. I mean, Cam Newton, you're going to have the second... offensive-wise, Oregon's second in the nation, or Auburn is 7th. This is such a great matchup. This is one that the BCS got spot on. This national championship is a terrific matchup. It makes up for the ferocious UConn-Oklahoma game. I am so excited. This is one of the most excited I've ever been for a national championship game in a long time.
Auburn right now is actually just a 3-point spread against Oregon, and the over-under is what makes it so laughable. The over-under right now is 74, guys. Let's look at the intangibles. Let's look at the quarterbacks from the quarterback comparison, and you give me the check mark on what you think. Darren Thomas for Oregon, which has been playing lights out this year. He's got 2,500 yards passing, only 7 picks, 28 touchdowns, compared to Cam Newton, who is 2,500 passing yards, 28 touchdowns to 6 picks. Who do you get a check mark to?
As far as passing, if we're doing passing and not including their rushing, I'm going to have to go with Cam Newton. He has shown on many occasions that he has a terrific arm. And as much as I dogged him at the beginning of the season about he's not going to make an NFL quarterback or whatever, I might have to eat my words after this game, because he has shown me that he is capable of having some really good throws. He stands in the pocket tall. He has that short, quick delivery. He's not bringing it all the way back here and doing a slingshot. He's looked pretty good in the pocket, so check to Cam Newton.
Okay, moving on to, and we have to do the running backs. We can't add Cam Newton in because he is the leading rusher for Auburn. But you have to look at Michael Dyer for Auburn compared to LaMichael James, who finished, second or third in the Heisman?
Heisman second. LaMichael James has this, and everything. He much head and shoulders better than, as far as running backs go, much better than Auburn's running backs.
21 touchdowns on the ground, guys, this year. 21 from LaMichael James. Wide receivers, Jeff Mayle from Oregon has actually had a pretty decent season, 13.9 yards per catch, 12 touchdowns. He's got 943 yards receiving, compared to Darvin Adams, who's been 900 yards receiving, 18.9 yards per catch, and 7 touchdowns.
If we're going just one wide receiver against the other, I got to go with Oregon's. But if we're taking the whole receiving core into comparison, I got to take Auburn's. Auburn's receiving core has shown me just a ton of talent, a ton of athletic ability in there. If we're going by core, I'm going to have to give the check mark to Auburn in the wide receiving core on that.
And I actually just brought this up just because I think if it's going to be a 3-point spread, you have to look at the kicking game. Okay, the kicking game, Rob Beard has actually been outstanding for Oregon. They've both had, 72 out of 73 PATs.
Yeah.
That's right, 73 PATs this year.
It's
okay,
ridiculous.
73. Wes Byram has had the same percentage, but if you look at it from where they kicked it from, and I think Rob Beard's actually at 75%, and Wes Byram from Auburn is just a little bit around there. I'm actually going to take Rob Beard simply because Rob Beard has hit more from 30 yards and beyond than Wes Byram has. And I think that's going to be a big issue because Gene Chizik is actually going to have to sit there and think, okay, this is for all the marbles.
Yeah,
we're going to have to. This isn't like October against whoever.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to, if you got 4th and 4, you can't just trust on Cam Newton. You're going to have to kick the ball. And like I said, I think Rob Beard from Oregon's got the check mark on this compared to Wes Byram.
Gene Chizik is trying to make it up this year. He's trying to make it up for the 2004 year.
Mm-hmm.
I really think if they don't win this year, that whole 2004 scenario is going to come back. We were undefeated. We should have won the national championship, yada, yada, yada. He can make that go away by making this a statement game and put it to Oregon to get the national championship.
The other thing you have to look at is Oregon secondary has 20 picks this year.
Mm-hmm.
20. Compared to Auburn secondary only has 10.
That's Auburn's biggest weakness. If I had to pick one glaring weakness in the Auburn past few games, they have looked better.
Yes.
I will give them that. They have looked better in the past few games, but still Auburn's one glaring weakness is the secondary for them.
Okay, guys, we're going to post these up on our Facebook site, and we're also going to put these on YouTube. You mentioned,
yes.
So please check them out. Tell your friends, tell your family, anybody who's actually a big college football fan, please tell them what we're doing because we're trying to get this as big as possible. And if you guys are watching, thank you very much for doing it. Have a great holiday season. We've got one more week before Christmas for our pro
NFL.
football.
Yep.
So please check that out.
And Ohio State basketball team keeps on rolling. I want to throw a little shout out to them. Sullinger put up 40 points the other day. The team's 75. Go Bucks in the Arkansas game. Thanks for watching, guys.
We'll see you next time. Happy holidays, guys.